Yeah.
So what is a security audit and why we required the security audit about the network audit and what are its SOPs, standard operating procedures? We'll discuss about it. Security audit is a policy-based assessment of the procedure and the practices of a site. Like we have our organization and we have number of devices in our organization and we are maintaining them, we are upgrading them, we have implemented some policy and some rules on it, we have created some users on it, but how we can check that this network and this servers and all devices are working perfectly and it doesn't have any vulnerability, and who will audit each and everything? Is that process is under control and its attack is possible or not? What are the loopholes? What are the gap analysis? That is called the audit. Why audit is required? The main purpose of the audit is it will let you know about the vulnerable areas. Vulnerability can be present in anything. No, there is no any system we can create which is 100% secure. There are some little bit of vulnerabilities into it. Whether we are talking about the servers, whether we are talking about our network devices, our firewall, our switches, there are some vulnerabilities are there. So if the audit will let you know what vulnerabilities are there, how we can remove that vulnerabilities, what are we, which compliance we work on it, and there are number of compliances are present. So HIPAA is there, ISO is there, PCI DSS is there. There are number of compliance. It depends upon the organization on to organization which on which compliance we are working. The main motive of the audit is that the site and the network systems are efficient and foolproof. When we do the audit, we remove the risk from it. Risk can be mitigated. Risk can be mitigated, but cannot remove the 100%. Who need the security auditing? A security audit is necessary for every organization who is using the internet. Whenever your organization is connected to internet, there are a number of things that are coming from the internet, and you create a policy on the firewall, but you are not so sure that policy is working so fine or not. Our ongoing process must be tried and improved to cope up with ever-changing and challenging threats, should not be feared of being audited. Audit is good practice. Somehow, these days, audit is a kind of a big fear in the organization that we have audit. So they will not talk about it, audit, and they will just get away from the audit. They avoid the audit, but doing the audit is a good practice because it will let you know the loopholes which are present in your organization, in the network, in your server part, in your firewall part, in any device which can be audited. These are the audit phases. Actually, there are two types of audit. One is internal audit and other is external audit. Internal audit is kind of that the audit is done by the employees of the organization. If I talk about the information security audit, the ISMS information security management system is implemented in the organization. So somehow is they created a team which perform the audit internally in their organization, in the department. Like suppose they are audit their network devices, they are audit their security policies, information security policies, password policies. There are a number of policies they can create. For that, they need to implement it. So that is internal audit, which is done by the organization itself. And the external audit can be the third party audit, which will let you know the other gaps which are not visible in the internal audit, or which are performed by the internal audit, and you can satisfy that it is perfectly fine and the process is safe. The data we are sharing on the network, it will be the controlled way, and it is not can be done under the attack. It can be a man in the middle attack like. So both audits are important. The internal audit is a kind of security policy reviewing, interviews. Like suppose we have created a policy of a password policy. So if we want to check that the password policy is implemented or not, we need to ask from the employees also. What kind of policy you are working on? If you are implementing a password policy, how you can implement it? What are the procedures? What is the process of implemented? So there are a number of things you can do in the internal audit. Like suppose I want to educate my employees regarding any policy. So what can I do for that? I can give a awareness method, or I can put a logs, that is sticker type or pamphlet type. I can put it somewhere that each and every employee can see it and implement it. Banners can be there to implement it. External audit is a public information collection. External audit can be external penetration testing. If you are giving an external audit and if it is implemented by a third party procedure, so it can possible that they are implementing a penetration testing on your network, but with your authority, not without the authority of the organization. It will be implemented with the authority of the organization. Internal audit. Internal audit has the number of points, that is location of devices on the network, redundancy and backup devices, staging network, management network, monitoring network, other network segmentations, cabling practices, remote access to the network. If I want to talk about the internal audit, what will I check in the audit? What is the location of devices on the network? Like suppose I want to implement a firewall on my network, but firewall is placed in the network, but every data is not filtering from that firewall. Then there is no benefit of implementing the firewall. And I have a database server. My organization is running a database server, and it is having the crucial data on my server, and I am not taking the backup of it. Either I am taking the backup, but on the same site of my organization. Like suppose I have a data center in the Mumbai, and my data recovery site, DS site, is also in the Mumbai, on the same location, on the same floor. So if we create these things, it will become exposed in the internal audit. Information security manager let you know that you have to create a backup site, but this location will be different. It cannot be on the same site. Management network. Suppose I want to access a device and I want to configure that device. That device should be maintained by the management network. That means it has some different IP in the organization running. Both network for managing the devices and for assessing the network, both IP series will be different. These are the gaps. Monitoring the network. Like suppose I have a network and there are some persons who are accessing that websites which are not allowed in the organization. So how you will check that? We will monitor the data, how the data is passing, what type of data is passing through the firewall. You want to implement the policies, you can create a blacklist websites, you can create a whitelist websites. Those websites are only accessible from the organization. You can do that. But these policies you have implemented, but you have to review it again and again, whether it's working fine. So for that review, we need an auditor. That is, an internal audit will be implemented on that side. One more thing is remote access to the network. If we are giving a remote access to our organization or to our network devices, how they are accessible? Whether authentication is there, whether AAA authentication is there, TACAS radius server is implemented or not. These are the general common practices, best practices. We do that for the securing our network. In the networks, there are number of peripherals, firewalls and routers, network access, public services and remediation. This is under the network. If we go for the firewall and the router, these are the kind of main network appliances which are implemented in every organization. Every organization have a firewall. Every organization have a router. If they have a data center or a small organization also have the router and the firewall. It can be a hardware-based firewall. It can be a software-based firewall, but both should be audited. If we have a hardware-based firewall like Palo Alto, we have Checkpoint, we have Fortinet Gate firewall, or if we have a software-based firewall, Komodo firewall is there. We have the Linux-based firewall, that is ClearOS firewall is there. There are a number of firewalls are available. But if you created a firewall, then you must know that what kind of services, what kind of ports are opened, and what type of rules you have to implement it. Whether it is the benefit for the organization if I place the firewall, right? How the network should be accessed by the user, by the end user, and the network administrator. There are the levels of the accessing to the network of the device. Like suppose I have a device, I have a router device. There are a number of users in my organization, and I am giving the access to the router to 4 persons from the organization. One is a super user who can do each and everything on the router. Second, who can have only the read permissions on that. It can only view the permissions of the router. Permissions kind of what who is using it, what type of rules are there. Right, these are the levels of the authentication and authorization of any device. You can create that. VLAN. VLAN is a good practice. If you create a VLAN in your network, it means it will segregate the network. It will segregate from the switch, from a basic device that is a switch. It can serve multiple networks from a single switch. If you have a manageable switch, then you can create a VLAN. If you don't have a manageable switch, then you can not create a VLANs on it. Layer 3 switch, you can say that. Audit items. What types of audited items should be audited? How it is managed? The device you have placed in the organization, how it is managed? What are the levels of that device? If a user is accessing it, what type of authentication and authorization of the users? Who can access it, at what time he can access it? Logging appropriate. Like suppose if anybody log into the device, if the log is generated or not. Like suppose I am accessing my device in the morning time, but log is not written, and I have made some changes into it, and it can crash my network. So to check who logged into the device, I need that logging facility will be appropriate. It can be possible you can create a syslog server, that is a centralized server, which having all the logs of your organization. You can send the logs from the firewall to that syslog server. You can send the server's logs to the syslog server. It will be a centralized server. Is it up to date? Means I have placed a firewall and a server in my organization, but the time zone is not working appropriately. Like suppose it's showing the date of 2020, January 2020. It's 1 year back. So whenever a log will be generated, it will generate a log of a back date. If you want to analyze that logs, it will not give you a particular, give the result, good result, appropriate result. Who is accessing it? What type of events is fired? What type of services are occurred at what time? If you are creating a device that should have a connected to a NTP server, network time protocol server. Network time protocol server is that which have a centralized server which is giving the privilege to every server and every device according to its time zone. Whatever the time will be set at the NTP server, it will be pushed at the every server and at the every device. It means whenever a log will be created or event will be fired, it will have the same date which is the NTP server is running. So that can be easy to locate at what time that event is fired. If you have a service is not working, if you want to check the log, then it will show the perfect time. At what time it is closed, at what time it is not responding, at what time the server is rebooted. So logging is a mandatory task if you are working in the organization for the network security. What services does it offer? What kind of services are running? Only required ports are active. If I want to check that, I have a server that is a web server. I have implemented a web server in my organization, but the port is telnet is open on that server, but I don't have required it. So why the port is open? You need to check under the audit what kind of services it is running, if the services are required or not. If you are creating a mail server, why the port number 80 is open on that server. If there is a suppose a server is implemented and it installed a software which is not required, and that software is creating a backdoor into it, that will help in the audit. How you can analyze, how you can find the things which are not appropriate. VLANs are properly secured. Management. Manage over the secure level, secure channel. Everything should be secured. Like SSL we need to do, IPsec we have to work, SSH we have to execute instead of Telnet. We need to SNMP version 3, we need to execute it. These are the things we are using these days. Like suppose we have a router or we have a switch, but for the managing of the switch or of managing the router, we open the telnet port. That is a port is a vulnerable. We opened it for the some time, but we forgot to close it. Or we have a server and we open a port on it to checking something, to execute something, but we forgot to close it. So the port is opened already, but you never checked about it that I have opened a port and we need to close it a port. It will not prompt you. System never prompt you that you have opened the port and kindly close it. But in the audit process, they will access the device. They will access the vulnerabilities of the device and let you know that these ports are open and you need to close it if you are not using it. In the best practices, if you're running a server, you need to close all the ports first of all. In the first case, you need to close all the ports of that server. After that, you need to open only that ports which are required. Open the port one by one. Like suppose you have created a web server and you need a port of 80 or 443, just open those ports only. Close the rest of the ports. Centralized authentication server. We already talked about that. If you have a number of devices, you need to create a centralized authentication server that is called a AAA server or TACAS and a Radius server. TACAS is in a Windows server and Radius is in the Red Hat Linux server. Cisco supports all of these things. Requires AAA to be enabled, AAA new model with the default configured, crypto key generation RSA, SSH key gen you need to require. These are the number of things you can create for securing your network. How you can secure your network? It is under the best practices. Let's suppose I have a policy of a password policy. Let me share it. Let's suppose it is a password policy is implemented in organization. If everybody knows about it, that there is a password policy implemented in the organization, they have to work on it every time. Like it's written here, maximum password is 45 days. After 45 days, you need to change it. But if you not change it, the system will not stop working. It will work. But in the audit, you will get a non-compliance. That means there is a policy is working, but you are not complying it. If there is a policy, it is implemented in the organization, you need to implement that policy. Somehow these days also seen that if you go for the audit, before the audit or 3 to 4 days before, they are implementing everything. They are changing the passwords, they are hardening the devices, but it is not under the good practices. If you having the SOPs or you have a guidelines, like suppose there is a guidelines that there's a device you purchased a new for the organization and you want to connect into your organization, there should be a guidelines for hardening that device before connecting to the network. There should be some methods that your device should be hardened enough. That means it's not showing, not leaking any privacy policy. It will not it will not open unused ports into it. You need to create a hardening step of any device. You can create it. Like suppose I have a router, I want to implement a new router in my organization. I want to place a new router. So there should be a procedure that before connecting to the internet, before connecting to the network, I need to implement these steps to harden it. It can be possible on the server also. Before implementing, before connecting to the network, you must know that it has a secure password. It cannot be boot from any device. It cannot be boot from the USB. You can create a number of things on it to harden that server, to harden that device before connecting. So if you harden that device according to that procedure, it means that procedure or a policy will be checked by your auditor. And you will let him know that this we are working, we hardened this device under these practices. And that device can be audited with that policy, and it will be audited with the other policies also, with the other compliance also, with other standards also. CIS benchmarks is also there. NIST benchmarks is also there. You can use anything. You can create a checklist for the hardening and also for the auditing. How we can audit our device ourselves. Is it perfect hardened? Logging. I already talked about that logging is a centralized or at console, both will be beneficial. But on the console, you cannot save the too much of the logs on the device. And one more thing, for the logging, there are a number of policies are there. What are the retention period of the log? For how much time you need to save the log? Where the logs will be saved? Where it will be analyzed? Whether it's showing on the SIM. If you are sending the log from the device to another syslog server or centralized server, any server you have created in your organization, whether it's fetching, whether it's saving the logs, whether it's creating a different directory, whether it's saving the logs for the 90 days of the retention period, whether you are written in the 90 day, whatever is written in the policy of the log retention period. It depends upon the policy. Policy can be different to organization to the organization. But you should know that whether it's working or not. If the log is fired on the server, on the device, on the firewall, whether it's sending to the syslog also, and both syslog server and these devices are synchronized with the same time zone, that is the NTP. These all the things are checked under the audit, whether it's an internal audit, whether it's an external audit. Here, I have one more policy of the network security. This is a general policy for the network security, how the design will be created, how the risk assessment will be done, how the gap analysis is done. If you are using, if you are working with the ISO 27001, 2013 or 2005, what are the controls implemented on your organization? What kind of controls you are implementing? You are working with a physical security control. If you are working with a physical security control, you can implement a biometric, you can implement the CCTV cameras, you can implement a physical person who can check it for the physical security. You can create a logbook for that. These are the things if you are working for the ISMS, that is Information Security Management System 27001, for the physical security. If there is a data center, how the data center can be, the data center can be used by which person? Who is the authorized person to access that data center? Who can enter that data center, and what is the process is used to access that data center? Is there a person is sitting outside the door? Is there a biometric machine is running? Whether the CCTV camera is there inside the data center and outside the data center? And you are creating a logbook, managing a logbook, the person who is entering, just signing it with the date and time. These are the things it checked at the audit level. If you want to train your employees, what is the process to train them? What are the policies and procedures you are doing it? If you want to secure your hardware, like suppose your firewall or the router or the server, what are the basic procedures for that? How you are hardening to the system? And to check that system, that policies are implemented perfectly and working perfectly, you need to do an audit. It can be done by the internal person and also by the third person if you won't go for the certification. ISO 27001 certification. See, it is a policy showing that how is the network segregation, how the VLANs are created, how the system is managed in the network, who can authenticate, who are the authenticate users for that device. What is the parameter security we are implementing here? Is the next generation firewall is there? IDS, IPS is implemented. If the IDS and IPS is implemented, what is the place? What is the where it is placed? Is it placed behind the firewall or above the firewall? Where it will be placed? You need to check each and everything. The flow of the network, flow of the process, flow of the data. How the data is flow from the internet to the user. What kind of data is flowing from a user to the internet? What are the things they are using? What kind of procedures you are implementing in the organization? What are the policies implemented? There are a number of policies you can create. You can create the email policy. You can create the password policy, network policy. HR policy is also there. Creating the policies should be audited. The system is audited through the policies and the compliances. This is the main thing. Audit items. How it is managed. Is it a log is appropriately working? And logs are created whether it's updated, up to date, that the event is fired today and it's showing the date of the yesterday. It will not work. It will not help anything. If there's a malware attack from internet and you get the notification that you have attacked on another day, the date is fake date, that will not help you. These are the minor things which are checked in the audit. But in the main audit, that is internal audit of the network audit or the external audit of the network, they will check about the policies and the procedure which are implemented. Through that, they checked it. What services does this offer? Any query? So I am concluding my point here. So over to Naresh sir. Sir, is there any question there?